Hey everyone, Eldrick here, and welcome to another game collection video. This actually will be a series of videos as I go through some of my retro game collection, and we're going to start with this baby right here. And as you can see, we have a Fruit by the Foot's roll-up sticker here on top of this box. So let's open this baby up and we'll see what kind of memories and games and whatnot's inside here. Alright, so Funko Land. This is where I used to get some of my games back in the day. We got Final Fight here. Played this, I don't know how many hours growing up. Spent quite a bit of time playing as Hagrid and Cody and trying to beat the shit out of guys with mohawks and all that good stuff. We have Super Mario All-Stars. This has the lost levels in it, and I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent trying to beat the lost levels growing up. One level in particular comes to mind, and that was one where the wind was blowing and you could see like the leaves going across the screen, and you had to make some crazy jumps across these gaps and had to land on some little bitty platforms and stuff in the trees or whatever, and it was just crazy. And if I remember right, that was probably the hardest level that comes to mind that I can actually remember at the moment. Alright, let's see what we have here. Oh, oh, this is Yo Noid. This was back when Domino's had a mascot, and it was Yo Noid, and they actually came out with like a platformer type of game for it. And my dad actually picked this up for me one day, and I actually enjoyed it. It's kind of crazy. You go around and you play as the Noid, the mascot at the time for Domino's Pizza, and you're using a yo-yo for most of the time in the game to beat your enemies and stuff. And then you can also get the pizza masher that you can see that he's jumping across on right there. And the bosses, you basically have like a pizza eating match with, and you have to eat so many more pieces of pizza with them, and you can use like pepper on their pieces and make them sneeze, and that makes them lose points and stuff. It's kind of crazy, but all in all, I don't think it's really that bad of a game. I never did get around to beating this growing up, or even now, now that I'm older. But this game here, it really has a place in my heart. Um, Especially like some of the hidden levels that you can go through where you had to like basically playing whack-a-mole. There was one on the ice level where you had to knock some hockey dudes in the head and some other people. This game, I don't really even need to say anything about. It's Mario 3. I actually got this one year for Christmas. Not only did I get it for Christmas, but I also remember getting a the Incredible Hulk coloring book for that. But we're going to take a look at this manual here. And this is the original manual I had here. And I don't know what the heck I was writing on this. Some kind of passwords or something here. Yeah. So we got that. That's a good game right there. I remember playing that with my sister. she and I would play through the levels, and normally we'd probably get to like I think World 7, where the pipe world or the plant world is, and we would just end there. Let's see. I don't know what this one is. Can't see what it is. Oh, what is it? Oh, look what it is. Metroid. I think I actually picked this up from a yard sale. Had a pretty good time with it growing up, from what I remember. We have Super Mario 2. I actually wound up beating this growing up. I remember enjoying playing as Luigi and the princess quite a lot. The princess where she could float. I really liked her on some of those sand levels in the desert. And then Luigi, he could jump across those gaps. Of course, his little feet would, kick back and forth while he jumped. And, the digging levels and the desert levels was kind of a pain until, growing up, I finally figured out that Toad was like the fastest digger, so he helped in the sand levels and whatnot. So we got Super Mario 2. Oh, this was one of the last NES games that I ever got, and I got it for Christmas. And that is one of the bastardized Contras, and that's Contra Force, which I actually liked. And I think this game now is going for like almost damn near $100 or so. At least it was at some point in time, $80 or $90, something like that. Yeah, I got that game. I think the same year that I got, it was nearing the end of the NES library, I think. But yeah, we still had the manual and stuff. That dude on the back, his name was Beans, I think. Let's see if I remember it right. It may have the characters in it. Yeah, no, Burn. There is a Beans guy. He was like the demolitionist guy in it, though. And then you had Iron and Smith. Smith, I think, was like a dude that had all kinds of weaponry, special weaponry. Burn, I don't remember what he had, but he could do some crazy shit. And then there's the missions to accomplish and stuff. And you can get on a plane and do all kinds of stuff, and even call in like backup, like a AI backup for a certain amount of time, for like 10 or 15 seconds. They would come in and help assist you in a level and against bosses and all that stuff. We have Palamades. It's kind of like a Tetris kind of game, but it's like with dice, and you can play with all these different characters in it. And this game here, my sister enjoyed more so than what I did. I never really got into the whole Dr. Mario and all those type of games, but she and I actually had fun a lot of nights playing that particular game there, and she usually beat my butt. But that was another game that my daddy got. This game here, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I loved Freddy growing up. And I just so happened to have gotten A Nightmare on Elm Street growing up from my dad. This is one of the LJN games. I actually enjoy it. When you can get the power-ups with your characters and become like the ninja and the Olympian or athlete or whatever that throws like the spears or whatever the hell you're throwing. It can really be fun. Now when you're playing it as like the normal person, um, you know, it's kind of lame, you know, because all you can do is just jump and punch, it seems. But when you enter like the dream world is really when it's like a hell of a lot of fun. And then you got to collect the bones of Freddy and stuff like that. But um, this game here, it really kept me entertained growing up. And there was a lot of nights when I was playing that and I was actually scared, you know, because Freddy was, you know, on the title screen and all that jazz. Donkey Kong Country for the Nintendo, no, not Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo. I actually got this for a birthday present one year. Wound up 100%ing it. And out of the 3 Donkey Kong Countries that came out for the Super Nintendo, that one was my favorite by far. Okay, we'll leave this one here for last. We have Tiger Heli. I enjoyed the hell out of this game growing up. This was another one of those games that my sister and I would play a lot. She would always go for the helis, the little ones that would join you. The one, I think she always went with the gray ones that shot in the forwards directions, and I always went with like the little red and white ones that would shoot in like the sideways directions. And we would normally play that back and forth. Okay. This game here, my mother got for me one day, and I think it is like the supposed to have been the sequel to Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but it's just called like Punch Out 2. I don't know how well that's gonna pick up, but you basically fight is this boxer dude here in space, and you fight all kinds of crazy stuff. And here's some of my passcodes that I had written down way back in the day. Yeah, Power Punch 2. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Yeah. The cool thing about this game, though, is unlike Punch Out, the actual Punch Out, you actually had to do like a training sequence. It wasn't just like watching like a little 8-bit cutscene of you riding a bike, you know, or running with your trainer riding a bicycle behind you type of thing. You actually had to train in that game, and the training actually did help you in punching harder and having higher health and all that craziness in the game. This is kind of like a preview of what more is to come. We have the first Turtles game. This is one of the first games that I ended up actually owning with the Nintendo, the original Turtles, and it actually called this game here. We have a story about that when we get to that actual game. We have Disney Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. This is another different type of game. You run around the Magic Kingdom and you can do different kind of games. My favorite one in it is the haunted house and the racing games. Those are fun. And then there's some crazy ones where you have to do like some crazy side quests where you go around and answer questions about Disney characters and Disney movies and stuff like that, and that's part of the game, and some of that's kind of crazy. This one here is one of my all-time favorite games. This is another one that I had gotten for Christmas, and it was almost one of the final games that I'd ever owned for the Nintendo, and that's Gargoyle's Quest 2. I really love this game. I could not tell you how many times I died trying to get across that one damn fire bridge stage or whatever it was back in the day. Just trying to get the your wings to fly across the fire and land on those moving platforms that sometimes would shoot at you and stuff. It's kind of crazy. But I wound up beating it finally, and you can really become pretty damn powerful in the end, like when you get some nifty power-ups and all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites right here. But anyway, y'all, we'll have maybe some more of this retro games and looking back, and maybe some future stories on this stuff in the future. As always, please be safe, you gaming, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.